Welcome everybody, we are just slowly getting people into the match here. We'll be starting in just a few minutes, so sit back, relax, grab yourself a drink, something to keep yourself tied, just something to keep you comfortable as we work to get started. So we'll be starting here in just a few moments, and I'll be right back here on the mic with you. Alrighty, welcome everyone. Appreciate your patience as we've waited to try to get started here. We are starting out week 1 here of the Winter War League. This will be a little different for me. I'm used to casting specifically for TPL, but as we near the ending stages of that tournament and that league, other ones are starting to pop up. And so this one's a new one that I'm going to be looking at trying to help out with. Winter War League. Starting out now, stretching a few months into the future as well. Should be a good old time as we get a good first round matchup here between the 79th Infantry Division and the 27th Field Artillery. So let's go ahead. We're going to look through the rules a little bit about what these guys are all about. A little bit different than TPL. And so destroyable nodes, very first one here. So in this set case, much like TPL, teams are going to be getting up their nodes, but unlike TPL, here in the Winter War League, they can be destroyed. So it is all hands on deck here as those nodes now become a strategic target for other opposition members to get in and try to take care of those. Protected Arty. So we want to make sure that the Arty is going to be able to stay up. So they pretty much want them to make sure that no issues happen there. But another fun, interesting fact is that the Winter War League also allows for some of the new SPA, self-propelled artillery vehicles, to be used. So this will be the first match I've casted with those being present. So I'm very interested to see how that dynamic plays into things. And then the tanks are a little bit different here as well. Instead of just having a Panther band, each side chooses one tank to essentially ban. So I guess in this case, technically the 27th has decided to ban the 75, and the allies for the 79th have decided to ban the Panther. So in this case, we're still not going to see any Panthers, but we can at least still see some of these tanks going out, and I'm personally most excited for some of these SPA vehicles to kind of see what those look like. But without further ado, we are flipping. Map is started, and we will get an idea of what we have in store between these two teams here as we face off on the snowy fields of Foy. So I'm your host today. I'm going to be Falcon here, Night Falcon, helping you guys out, trying to share some of the wonderful joy and stuff that we have for this competitive Hell Let Loose scene. We're a small niche group, but we love our small niche group, I must say. And so with that, I am here to try to present as much information, much of the action as possible. My apologies in advance if I don't get your cool play, but hey, I'm going to do everything I possibly can to have all the fun and make sure that everything gets shared appropriately. So today we are going to be playing over West Bend. That's going to be this far left side here, midpoint on Foy. So very axis favored point here. So the 27th is going to be coming in off of this northern side. They're going to definitely be the first ones to get to this point, as is expected here. But the 79th is definitely in the running as well. They're going to be able, while they're not going to get in here to the hard cap sector right off the bat, they're going to be able to control a lot of areas. So for the Axis, it is vital that you get and you hold both the hard cap as well as this sector, where we can see a number of people for the 79th are already set to go. Because you're going to ultimately control this main pivot point is just as important as controlling the hard cap. Because if you can control this sector right here, you can basically control their ability to wrap in behind you, and then vice versa with the 79th having the option to go on to Foy here. That's going to be a really good jumping off point here into Foy, and make it really difficult for the Axis, who has to contend with a lot of open fields here to get back into the point. So with that, let's see how we will be able to see how this matchup shapes here. So starting with the 27th here on the north, we've got two Lux starting to spawn in. Looks like they're going to splash a little bit of damage here with the medium Panzer coming out. Puma looking to go far side on the back. For the allies, we've got Stuart. We've got a self-propelled artillery vehicle coming out as well. So 79th looking to utilize that advantage here right off the get-go. Take a look and see how that all works out here. So now as we start to see members of the 27th and the 79th approach this middle cap sector here, let us take a look and see what kind of things we have. I can hear shots and rockets starting to shoot out here. Okay, it looks like it was close to hitting off of that rocket, that spot coming in here for the 27th. Looks like one rocket landed true here. Didn't take out the truck, but it sure took out a good amount of bodies with it. So with that, a little bit of a good start here for the 79th and trying to limit the numbers of the 27th here on hard cap. But as expected, the 79th having to fight uphill a little bit here right off the get-go. Gotta get down here a little bit more into the action level here. Really try to enjoy some of the action that we have on Foy. It's a little bit different than what we get in some of these other maps. With all the snowy open fields, large open sight lines, but then tight trees that you have to kind of maneuver around. So 79th doing well at trying to push up through this walled area. Looks like we've got a couple people that push right in here, get up on top of this roof. It's good play here to be able to try to get the overwatch on the entire battlefield here, as a Stewart looks to try to help people move on up. Snoochie Benucci able to take out Whiskey on the left side as he works to just hold on to that outer edge. Cat Progress nearing more and more closer here to the 27th. We're going to utilize the help of our X-ray vision here to try to see through some of these trees. As Biggs and Napkin of Death going off after each other here. Kamikaze, though, trying to hide behind some of these broken down ammunition shell casings here. The Lost Sauce trying not to get lost in the woods as Kamikaze's narrowly avoiding that northern, rocket hitting it from the top. So with that, we go to the first 3-2 here. Advantage going to the Axis. But immediately following that, Cat Progress coming back in favor of the 79th. Now, big focus here, as I was just mentioning just a few moments ago, able to get control over these houses on this eastern side of Point. So 79th is already setting themselves up very nicely to be able to try to get that push down into Foy. Now, this is going to prevent 27th from also having a lot of push down into this middle sector. So North Highway. Right now, 27th is having to facilitate a lot of pressure here on the hard cap, but without the ability to really push down straight into this road due to the 79th presence on that road. They've been forced really to come back around this side. As you can see that they've started to get some things back up here on this bottom side. This is all the way halfway across the map. So they're going to be very exposed as they try to get to maybe this area right here where this house is. This little broken house is where that infantry ping is. That is going to be a good area of attack for them if for some reason they're not able to control this area. That's going to be their main launching off point. But if you're the 79th, that's what you kind of want them to do, because you know they're not going to come through here, you're not going to come through there, and that the only way they could get around is down through this side. So good play here so far. 79th able to get up and get going here as we see Cat Progress again coming back in. More supplies dropping in here on the hard cap here for the 27th. As their Lux appears to be well in danger, smoking them pretty much from every crevice. Now, I don't see a garrison up yet for the 27th, so those supplies coming in. With that, 79th continues to push on in. This is a really dire situation here for the 27th, already off of the rip here, because they have been forced all the way back into the small area of this house here on West Bend, which is just going to leave them as like shooting fish in a barrel here for the 79th as they look to try to get an angle on these guys. And that Artie's only going to be able to continue pushing on in. Let's take a look and see where our self-propelled artillery vehicle did end up. So it's sitting currently on the backside here. Let's go take a peek real fast just because... Oh, hang on. Puma's coming up from behind trying to help out. Puma passing off the Stewie, though, on the left side as Whiskey and Wild Bill are very much aware of its presence, but the Puma was not aware of them. So Clinker and Chick-fil-A, though, looking to get behind, cause a little bit of havoc as the Puma had to have heard some of those shots coming off of that Stewart. As Whiskey continues to go ahead and, oh, heal up that tank. Well, he did his job, but the Lux decided that that was not gonna, he wasn't gonna go any further into that. But with that, 79th has completely pushed out the 27th here as they're now forced to come off of garrison spawns here just on the north side of the line. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, 79th are going to take that mid-cap sector back. So with that, going 3-2 here in advantage of the 79th. leaving the 27th in a very difficult situation to try to get back into this area, as they now have to contend with this giant open field. So Artie is going to have to be a big playing factor here for the 27th in hopes of them trying to get back into here. But I can see those shells from the SPA landing in, so I wanted to come back here. Let's take a look at it and see what things are looking like back here. As Stankins, man in that SPV, or that SPA. Rocket going right on in here. Now, I do have to say, I'm very much amused by the arc of these shells right now. Because it's like they're the 1940s equivalent of a javelin missile. We'll see what Stampkins, if he's able to go ahead and continue firing. There it goes. It's moving. Snail's pace, but it's moving. All right, so some accurate fire coming in from Stampkins there on that, from that SPA. So with that cap though, we now have 27th in a very difficult situation. Couple different OPs here. They're starting to get the ground back over here. So this front line, their main objective is going to be pushed down here into this area and see what they can go ahead and get taken care of on their side. So let's go ahead and take a look and see how those initial battles are going to go. Farmer of a former Pathfinder's variety, it looks like, given the PF at the start of his name, gets taken out from the help of the armor vehicles here on the backside. I hope this evening is treating everybody all right out there. And you guys all have a good old time, good old experience here. It's like Divinity making a showing here in the Winter War League under the 27th banner. Well known for his skills behind the rifle. I've been told not to give Divinity too much time. I remember that from the last time I casted a Legion Exodus match. Got a good amount of raz. Got a good amount of banter in the comments about that, so make sure not to show too much Divinity. We'll just catch him on the edge of our screen every once in a while right there. There you go, Divinity. There's your screen time. All right, so Travis Chaos, the fourth, coming up against Leatherneck. Leatherneck and Chaos. Leatherneck looking the wrong way, though, as Chaos is able to go back and hit him from the side. So good pressure from the 27th to come in on this eastern side and try to eliminate members of the 79th off of this point. As we are getting plenty of bodies back here into the area. As a bombing run goes off here for the 79th. Let's go ahead and take a look here. It does miss the garrison, unfortunately. So the garrison's still going to stay up here for the 27th. Nick Raids, dude, doing the best that he can to support this Lux, though, making sure it stays up and healthy. Looking to most likely get a repair station on up as well. Using the cover of that Lux. Just goes to show you how invaluable these engineers are. Enough to make sure we warrant a little bit of screen time here for Nick Raids as he gets that up for the support of his Lux here. Good work, Nick. All right, so currently, let's look at the garrison situation here for the 79th and the 27th respectively. So for the 79th, the garrison right outside of hard cap, so good play on that point. They're going to pretty much bring Artie out of the situation, but it could allow 27th to continue pushing bodies here into there if they're able to win some of those gunfights. So that will be interesting to see. Garrison here on that power corner that we were talking about, and then all the way out on dugout barn of 22nd Lore. It's rumored that they beat Merc out there first round of Summit. I may or may not have been a part of that. One of the highlights of my competition career, I must say. I personally play for the 22nd, which is not taking part in Winter War League, which gives me the ability to come out and cast all these matches. Prevent that all good old conflict of interest issue there. Looking forward to TPL as we move into the playoffs here. SPA still landing on in here on that Artie side. As Imperfect Rogue somehow makes it through a good amount of guys before he's mowed down, but unfortunately his fate is the same regardless of how he got there. Lost Sauce, though, looking to get some more shots here on Goofy, Kamikaze, Kit Carson. Plenty of people down there. Target-rich environment, that is for sure, as Lost Sauce continues just to try to find what he can while he tries to dodge some of those SPA rounds coming on in. So 79th doing well, holding West Bend here as we wait for more and more of those shots to come on in. Looks like 79th also has been able to facilitate adding a few more people here to the power corner section. Working to try to clear out some of the progress here, so we definitely would be keeping an eye to see a Fishaholic over there on his side. And look to get some type of garrison up to help him push into Foy. Keep in mind, this match today is a 40 versus 40, as Divinity and the rest of his squad appear to have become taken back in the way of hot lead on a very cold night with a great rocket from Totally Not Bed to remove that OP, as Leatherneck, no doubt, very jealous that he took his points away from him, unfortunately. But team play nonetheless here from the 79th as they work to weed out various outposts. J-Shave, Chaos, Epi, all trying to run around here, get angles on these guys, as we can see a lot of the 79th members holding some pretty good angles. With the help of our X-ray vision, as the fog begins to roll here, these weather dynamics on Foy added in one of the recent updates here definitely add a new layer of fun to this matchup, I must say. But to the fog, Epi says, no, I'm going to go ahead and add a few more little bits. Make these a little more exciting here, as he now plunges himself into the point, coming up against Leatherneck here very quickly. But Leatherneck able to get the last say there, saying, nope, this is my area and I'm going to control it. All right. Appears that we just lost the tank here. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what tank. Nope, not a tank, AT gun. As the tanks from the 79th now own this entire filled area here. Good planning ahead here on the 79th part to go ahead and make sure that they could cover that entire area so that no tanks could really push down to the point. They're really focused on getting here, and they are aiming all the way down into this area. So they are able to essentially cut off 27th right now on that side. So good angling, good positioning. Be interesting to see how the 27th react to that with their armor. Speaking of armor, what are we currently looking at for them? So we got a medium tank. And then the first heavy, the first Tiger over here on the map edge. As it begins to take shots, but nothing, I believe, on the 79th's arsenal is able to hit it as of right now, with the exception, okay, it looks like a 76 has come into the play. That rep station's still up, though. Oh, as we get a good hit here from the 76 onto the Tiger. Tiger not knowing that the 76 is there, though. Still focusing on that medium Sherman, I believe. I do not believe he knows that this 76 is here. Let's take a look and see if this 76 is going to be able to continue taking shots on him. Oh, it looks like they got him. So we were just a little bit behind on our cover of that area, but with that, Tiger tank is down, sitting 79th up on the armor advantage here for the time being. And with that, Shadow Snatch gonna try to do a hero run. Hopefully he's protected by the plot armor here a little bit, but unfortunately for him, he's taken out right before the corresponding shooter for the 27th eliminated him. He also became victim of some artillery fire. So with that, 27th still going to be able to maintain that OP. Garrison's still up as well as Lost Sauce and Bloomfield coming off of it, trying to continue their pressure here. But with that, most likely medium Sherman just noticed that that Garrison spawned. Will he be able to take it out? Fortunately, that shot missed. You can do it, buddy. It's right there. Repair station gone. Will he be able to get it? Ah, Garrison gone too. All right, with that, now only one OP here from D Squad. Looks to be a recon OP, which could spell some disaster here, as now 27th is almost entirely forced off of this foothold to try to get anything back here into West Bend. So again, this is a brutal point if you're the Axis and you lose it, because you have to try to get back up on top of it. And unfortunately, it is very, very tough, especially with all the angles that these allied tanks can hold. It's very, very difficult to try to get yourself back up into that point. So now the 79th has the added advantage of running their armor up this main road. But just like that, Pierce 27th now pushing on in, trying to own this area. There still is the garrison here for the 79th. Will it fall, though? Where is it? As Kanye West tries to do his best to hold off the western side here. Garrison currently behind the shed here. Kanye West doing well. Can he get some bodies to reinforce him? As unfortunately he falls victim to a grenade, leaving the garrison wide open. Pending a spawn here from his guys. Any second now. Can somebody spawn in and help? Or is Shave going to be able to get on up and take it out? Shave going prone. Is taken out, though, protecting Garrison from the backside here. Is Leatherneck able to go ahead and salvage that situation, hopefully for him. Should be able to get some more angles here. As reinforcements come off of Purple Keys OP. Garrison now gone due to a satchel play here from Diggy. Good play there to prevent himself from getting into danger, but still able to go ahead and remove that Garrison. All right, so just like that, 27th starting to own the power corner here. They'll be up to the 79th to see how they can go ahead and play it, because they are now having to push across open fields. So really, again, any way that you can get down from power corner right there, the person that owns power corner, I think, is going to be the person that ends up winning this match. There's not much to it. Because that's going to be what has the ability to help you get onto that fourth, or to have you help recapture third, which is what 27th is currently trying to do. superiority still coming down, pounding into that broken building just north of West Bend here. Kit Carson trying to do what he can to maintain that edge here as he gets a little bit of help from the medium tank, taking out that supply truck. Supplies did get down though, so will Lost Sauce be able to get a garrison up? Most likely will, but it is currently too close to the other one behind that building. So just like that, they're going to need to sort out their garrison placements here a little bit, try to utilize some of the advantage that they get from the backside of that ridge. It's good rockets coming in from both sides, proving to be pretty interesting and sufficient. Or sorry, not sufficient, pretty efficient in their various attacking areas of the point here. But 79th doing very well, holding their front line on this area, not letting members of the 27th even get a glimpse across this field without getting lost. All right, and just like that, have we seen the... Yep, we have. There's a second SPA vehicle here for the Axis now, as we saw its trademark Firefly-like approaches for the rounds all coming into the point. Onyx here trying to do what he can to help out his guys from the backside line. Let's go ahead and take a look at these vehicles. Just kind of the interesting craftsmanship that they present, is they definitely are very different than what we've experienced throughout anything else in Hell Let Loose. But a fun new gameplay change that has come about with this most recent update. The not so fun changes, though, that have also come up because of this update are going to be the fact that everything's blurry, which has made, for me as somebody that's on PlayStation 5, very angry, I guess you could say, because it takes away the ability to play this game. Used to being able to shoot at pixels a little bit more, but now everything's blurry. Makes it that much more fun. But anyway, I digress. Hoping here in the next couple days it will be nice and fixed. But luckily for you guys on that side, for some reason, don't know why, but you're able to go ahead and see it pretty sharply and clearly. It must be just the perspectives of the admin cam versus the FPV view, as Napkin of Death is able to hold this area pretty well against some of the on-rushing forces here of the 79th. All right, looks like 27th has started to be able to get a few OPs here behind the 27th. Or the 27th has been able to start getting OPs here behind the 79th. With Epinedrin coming on up here. Talk to me, Ghost. Ghost! Turn around, Ghost! As unfortunately, he takes out Fusion here on the backside. Now the lone man here. ZK, though, knowing that there are bad guys behind him, will he go looking for OPs? That is left to be determined here. As Webb also is back here, trying to help his guys get a foothold. Coming in with the flamethrower action here. Webb getting an elimination. Unfortunately for him, he did lose a battle as well. Goose was able to take him out, but he did get an elimination from the flamethrower. So let that be known. All you young flamethrowers out there, you can definitely do work here in competitive Hell Let Loose. Snafu and Beegs back here trying to figure out where these bad guys are emerging from. Bloomfield, Nephenedrin. Tobeans and Webb trying to hold down their OP, making sure this foothold does not get taken out. So we see a bombing run here, a bombing run coming on in. Looks to be Axis bombing run here. We'll miss the garrisons though, because we did notice they were placed behind here. But with this, it's going to give them the advantage and a little bit of smoke screen here to try to get some of these bodies up into the point. Protein Bar trying to do everything he can to try to prevent these guys from running on in, but Lost Sauce and Done here to be moving on in. We do see some cap progress starting to come in though from the 79th on the Foy, but it looks like 27 has been able to eat that up pretty well. Done facing off against Protein Bar as Napkin of Death looks to try to get around as well. Using that STG, not enough to get past the Thompson though on the Protein Bar, giving him an added fist pump here of his knife, letting him know who is the winner of that. Protein Bar able to take out Done as well with the help of Kamikaze. Protein Bar with the giant flex of using that little knife there. I've done them once or twice myself. Totally know it's accidental, but man, credit points where credit's due. Protein Bar still holding power position here on the backside of this hay bale, as Eli Pope looks to now be the next man up for the Axis, trying to get an angle on him. Will he be able to take out Protein Bar? Or will Protein Bar prove to be too strong for Mr. Eli Pope? Napkin of Death gets him mowed down again. Eli Pope, though, being very cautious, making sure he does not push in too far. Trying to help more and more bodies get up into the point. Let's go ahead and take a peek and see how this incursion here for the 79th had gone here on the backside. So D-Squad appears to have been able to gain a little bit of presence here and forced a lot of the guys back for the 79th, or for the 27th. 79th does have a garrison up here, front door just north of Southern Approach. And that looks like that spawn wave was eliminated here. Big Mike also going down here on the backside by JP Walk. And Divinity looking to try to get up, clear out whatever OPs and garrisons might be. Will they be able to find it before the next spawn wave comes in? They are heading the opposite direction. But JP Walk looking to spread on out here from Divinity. Looks like they most likely will get another spawn wave here off of this garrison here for the 79th. Fishaholic and GZK coming on in. Divinity and JP Walk not knowing what's going on behind them, as Fishaholic's able to take out JP Walk. Divinity, though, being very much made aware of Fishaholic's presence. Both of them trading shots, and Fishaholic's able to go ahead and finish him off, so Divinity able to go. So now spotter on spotter action here is Bear and Fishaholic. Will Bear be able to eat the fish as it prepares for hibernation season here? Somehow coming out of hibernation to be able to join in on the Winter War League fun, but Fishaholic able to clear out the rest of the bad guys there. So good work on Fishaholic to try to open that right back up for his guys. Big Mike trying to do everything he can to own Foy as he is surrounded by a lot of hostile cherries though. Lost Sauce, Nick Raids. NYX Shadow, most likely some type of OP is going warm, so they're trying to weed him out, figure out where Big Mike is. Well, let's go ahead and see how things are progressing here as Onyx has taken up a spot here north of the factory. Four more bodies getting back here for the 27th. Imperfect Rogue able to take out Lube. They were able to take out the garrison, so now that forces the 79th to put a garrison right up on the mid hard cap, right where it's going to be subject to the pushes of the Arty side. But right now, we're looking to go ahead and get Evanedrin and his squad here up into the point and really get a hold of this building right here. If they can clear out the 79th from there, that's going to help them because it's going to basically allow them to own the entire northern portion of the hard cap, where it kind of resets them a little bit. And hopefully should allow more of their guys in, and that's, if they're able to do that, that's when they're going to be able to get that advantage back here into the point. But a big SPA shot coming in, eliminating a couple Axis players as they try to just get some shots on some of the waiting 79th members. The Napkin of Death trying to do everything he can to throw as many smoke grenades as he possibly can, but unfortunately also becoming a victim of that SPA already coming on in as we see it loop up and just shoot down here very quickly into the point. Fun little position there. So we can see both SPA vehicles coming in big here, launching fire for their teams. Shack off. Will he get the OP? He does. He clears that OP. OP is now gone, so foothold for 27th now gone from the back side here. But has enough been done here in the front side? No, we're looking at three dead individuals here of the 27th variety. As the Lux begins to just continue trying to, or not begins, but just continues to try to get in there. Will Beaks be able to get one rocket into him? Beaks most likely need to get an angle. Unfortunately for him, though, he was eliminated by Bloomfeld. But with that, Tiger's now going to force up as well, help out with his Lux, but he does take one shot from the front from the either the 76 or the medium Sherman that are pushed back up here over the area. Both of them facing that direction. Most likely the 76 was the one that was able to get the hit on him, as he had the sharper angle. All right, let's go here. It looks like I needed to change one thing here real fast. I believe I'm still on the other. Here, let's go right on in here, edit video. Go into the broadcast booth here. All right, and there we have it. So appreciate everybody's patience here on the backside. All right, we're having a few difficulties here on the backside. All right, so we're gonna keep our angle here on this camera while I continue to try to figure out what's going here on the backside. Technology issues. Always present, unfortunately. Appreciate everybody's patience there as we continue to watch this side, watch this attack here in. All right. Just give you guys a good look at what's going on here while I'm trying to figure this out. Let's go ahead and zoom in So all of that hard cap progress here on the eastern side does appear to have been able to be taken out by the 79th, by the 27th. 27th definitely getting a good push in, a good pinch here on to West Bend. All right, so for everybody that's paying attention there on the backside, I do apologize for the issue here. So what's going on here is I'm uploading the first half of the match here for the people that are in the broadcast broadcast in the back there. All right, so for all of you guys that are interested in figuring out what is going on, so I had to cast 2 different matches today, and both of them use, in order to get around the YouTube encoder settings, I have to go ahead and put in a different stream key for the other one. But the problem with that one is that I essentially didn't switch it over to the new it didn't switch it back to the original, my casting stream key, and it was being broadcast through a different stream key. So I apologize for that issue as we see that bombing run coming on in. And so essentially what happened is it was broadcasting incorrectly, which very well could have been causing problems with blurry video and whatnot. So one of the reasons why I have to cast through the higher speed encoder is to prevent frame drops and other things like that. Until I can get to the 1,000 subscribers, then it just automatically gets me into that higher encoder, and I don't have to worry about switching stream keys. But for the time being, I have to basically go in and trick the YouTube settings into thinking I'm broadcasting 4K, which 4K is the only one that's available to stream on the higher encoder, so it automatically defaults you up. That's why when you look at some of my streams, you have the option to select a 4K option. However, the highest that this game can go, based on graphics alone, is 1080. And so basically what I'm trying to do is just circumvent the process to make sure you guys get as smoothest possible option as I can, smoothest video as I can. but it looks like it caused some problems today on that. So I apologize for that issue there, as a great rocket coming in from Diggy, able to take out that tank here for the 79th. So 27th definitely getting a good push here into the point. So appreciate everybody tuning in, though, dealing with us as we work through a little bit of our issues here on the backside. So again, that quest to get up to 1,000 subscribers definitely is going to help us out, as I mentioned in other broadcasts and whatnot. Got to beat the YouTube gods a little bit, and by doing that, getting up to 1,000 kind of helps me circumvent some of that difficulty with dual stream keys and whatnot, sometimes broadcasting to the wrong place, so I apologize for all that issue. But regardless, the fact that you're hearing me now means that it hopefully was sufficient, as we are now uploading this match here in the backside for the members of the community. Go ahead and watch. All right, we hear a bombing run coming on in here for the Axis forces over the top of West Bend. Does take out the garrison here for the 79th, as a whole bunch of 27th members look to be pushing across that field. Will they be able to get on up here, as now that garrison is gone, leaving OPs only available here for the 79th to be able to spawn back in on. Appreciate everybody's patience as we've tried to work through some of these glitches, some of these issues. The good news is, even though I mess up the live stream, I always do a backup just in case stuff happens and record the entire length of the match as well to make sure that everything gets uploaded in time. So in order to help out with that, I will go ahead and splice everything together for everybody once we get the match completed. Get that uploaded again so that you can watch it all in its entirety, start to finish. Cap progress now coming in on Foy here, as members of the 79th have been able to push down into the point here. Garrison on Foy still up, but cap pressure still coming on through here for the 79th. Kanye West and his group right on up here. Purple Key trying to hold on to the road here, as Big L taking a big L, unfortunately for himself. Kanye West, though, as we saw his heroics earlier today, trying to hold up that garrison. Will he be able to do a repeat benefit here, as Royal trying to search around, find Kanye West? Unfortunately, Royal able to find him, as Purple Key able to go ahead and take out Royal. Unfortunately, just half a second too late. All right, so it appears the 79th have been able to recover from that previous bombing run sent by the 27th. Able to get the garrison back up here on the southern side, able to help them out. All right. All right, so zooming on out. Let's go ahead and take a look and see. Now that we've got our kind of our bearings on us, the match looks like it's going to start broadcasting appropriately here in a moment. Let's get a bearing on where everything kind of sits at this time. So back here on power corner, 79th has been able to come back in and gain control over that. Garrison they had there was gone, or is gone, but that foothold's going to continue to allow them to push on up. So it's a good fight still here over the West Bend area, with a few 27th members slowly trying to creep their way up into the backside. But that push by the 27th appears to be pushed out pretty good by the 79th, responding very well quickly back into that. So very well done by both teams trying to get that. So this game, hell let loose, definitely a game of chess here. Things don't happen very quickly, but the ebbs and flows of the match definitely can help as both teams just try to get back in. But the 27th trying to do the impossible, unfortunately, it seems like here, and that's to get back here into West Bend after losing it. They got the initial cap off the start of the match, but the 79th was able to go ahead and weed them out because of their push onto power corner. Really eliminated their ability, the ability of the 27th to hold off any edge rushes here. And just like that, the 27th lost that point to the 79th just a few moments later. All right, so more and more bodies from the 79th starting to flood down the way into Foy. You can see this medium tank here for the Allies slowly trying to find angles to take a look and see how the armor situation is looking for both teams. So we got the 76 still here on the side, on the southern side here for the Allies. Looks like we have a Panzer IV going all the way out around Dugout Barn. Taking the wide route. The medium that we just noticed as well. Another medium and a Tiger here for the Axis forces. Nothing for the Axis when it comes in the way of armor on the map edge. So everything's been pushed down really to support Foy here as Big Mike finds himself all the way back on an island in the very back area there. It's Kanye West takes out Steel. Diggy getting some shots onto that medium. Good rocket from Diggy here as he gets one into the backside here of the medium Sherman. With a little bit of help off the backside from the Tiger, able to take out the rest of that medium tank. So that medium tank is now gone, up in smoke. All right. Back to the action here as now this entire map edge here is owned by the 79th. Finally able to overcome that push here by the 27th. Now leaving their full ability here for the 79th to push down here into the middle of hard cap on Foy. So just like that, we can see the line now for the 79th starting to form. Just slowly starting to weed out members of the 27th. There's still this medium tank here still floating around there on the backside. Good for them. I might zoom in on it and see what's going to happen because looks like he might get some action here against that SPA. Very interested personally in my perspective. I don't know about you guys, but my perspective to see how that little action goes on there. So right here, there's a little medium Sherman or medium Panzer IV here. There's our SPA. They see him. It's one hit. So this is for science, everybody. That is a medium shell into the side of the SPA. Two. So 2 AT shells into the side of the SPA is able to take it out. Boom. There it is. All right. So there you go. There you have it. 2 medium shells able to take out an SPA. Thank you, everybody, for attending Night Falcon's science class. As we all are learning how the ebbs and flows of this new update go. How it all kind of plays with each other here. Form Recon doing what he does best, taking out garrisons in the back line areas. So able to take that garrison out. Power corner now shifting control completely over to the 27th as A squad is now forced to come off the garrison south. Try to get back up into it. 27th able to regroup very quickly. That push that we were starting to get around here, it looks like they were able, 27th able now to slowly start pushing bodies in, and they appear to be on the push here as we see a lot of cherries moving in this direction as 79th appears to kind of stagnate here along these open fields, which is to be expected. It's hard to get across open fields. Like, that's just what it is. But at the end of the day, more and more rocket shells coming on here. 76 in danger. .76 in grave danger here from an AT gun. So AT gun play coming in big here for the 27th as they were able to get enough shots onto that 76 to get it out. Good work. Give you guys a good little highlight here as Purple Key comes in and says, that wasn't so nice. I'm going to take out my tank, you buggers. All right, which is now forced 79th to push back down here into the middle area. Garrison's gone back up by Leb. Let's force their push that they had going on into this middle road area, into Foy, to go back to try to regain control over this power corner here, which now allows 27 members to force their way back up and in. So with 28 minutes remaining, we got a lot of action still ahead of us. This Demonic's able to go ahead and clear out his bad guy. 79th, though, starting to get pretty well spread out, though, on that eastern map edge, or sorry, that western map edge. Gray Fox, they're doing well to hold the angle on that broken building, trying to prevent people from running up through that trees. The trees, just like Leatherneck and Emu there. Emu trying to call on the gods of the emus, his ancestors from the Emu War. Emu War, sorry. See if he can channel his inner emu. It's Gray Fox taken out on the backside. All right, so one of the few benefits about these open fields is that you do have the help of these little ridges here that will definitely help and go a long way in trying to provide cover as a lot of open fields. Now, we do have the added benefit here of the camera, and using our little handy dandy laser pointer here, we can kind of see where everybody's looking as it goes right down their barrel to wherever their barrel is pointing. We know exactly where they are. Getting some good shots here. Unsure if Lube was able to get him out, but nonetheless able to take out the bad guys here. Is Goose also back here trying to help out and providing some cover fire? Totally not bad though. Making another hero run across the way here. Gets one. Is he going to be able to take out Demonic, who has the advantage of that extra scoped in rifle? He does not have the advantage there. Is totally not bad. Able to go ahead and move his way on up. Zoom on in here, see what he looks like here. Go ahead and see things from his perspective. Getting one shot, able to take out Toe Beans. So totally not bad. Getting some good shots on a little bit of a kill streak here. Able to take out Snoochie. Going big, deep, long for Verbal. Gotta reload though. Unfortunately, that run of terror has been put to an end here as Toby is able to get back up on and take him out. But a fun little first-person perspective there for a moment. All right. Okay. 22 minutes remaining. We're going to probably see at least 2 more bombing runs and possible airheads here for the 27th as they try to just get bodies back into the point here. Blue Lancer, though, throwing some rockets down in there, able to get a good, able to take 1 or 2 guys out. All right, so if you're the 27th, now what is your plan? What are you looking to try to do? And it looks like they're doing exactly what you would expect here. They're going to start mounting their pressure pushes here as Big Mike appears to be in the back lines, just causing havoc here with these 2 takes. Uh-oh. I believe we have a problem here, Houston. Now, I would like to know what's kind of gotten into this situation here. As that Tiger appears to have gotten itself pretty well jammed up into there. My guess is it tried to just back up a little bit too much due to Big Mike and his little shenanigans here in the background. That might have to be a question for a post-game interview here, as Big Mike definitely has some explaining to do, as he not only was able to take out a tank, well, not take it out, in effect blow it up, but able to cause a good amount of damage, as that still is going to prevent the Axis forces from spawning in another heavy tank. That could prove to be very costly here, but Big Mike able to make his presence known as Napkin of Death, able to go ahead and wrap him up. But I mean, let's just examine this here for just a moment. I mean, that's impressive. So hang your hat on that, there, 27th crew members. That's impressive to get the tank stuck like that. The 1,800 hours of gameplay have yet to see a tank look like that before. I've seen him upside down. I've seen him flipped around. I've seen him all sorts of weird kickflips going on, but lodging it there, that's a new one. So good on you, though. Hopefully it doesn't hurt you here as we go towards the final push here. The Divinity and squad trying to move up here on the western side. Able to try to use a little bit of the advantage of the smoke cover here. But so far, 27th doing very well at pushing 79th back down this line. As we recall about 10 minutes ago, 79th had people all the way up here into this sector, but slowly but surely they have eased their way back up into this point. O Squad looking to try to get an OP up here on the backside here for recon. That could prove to be a problem here. That's Chick-fil-A and Form look to try to just get back here. With that, we see another SBA coming back in here for Stankins. The Clinker and Chick-fil-A right close by. Fortunately for Stankins, not aware that that was there. And being a one-man by himself, might have a little bit of difficulty in trying to get these guys here. Dr. Pepe PhD able to get up here and able to help out him as to try to get the backside, but Clinker now moving on up. Will he get the satchel on? No, he will not. Stankin still looking to try to get away as we see cap progress starting to come in on Foy. We will take a look over there momentarily. Chick-fil-A, though, gets a spawn back in off the OP. But Snafu appears to be moving on up. Will he be able to clear that OP? Yes, it looks like he will, as he took out Chick-fil-A, opening up the way to be able to get up and take that OP out. OP now eliminated here for the 27th on the backside, so unfortunately for them, they were not able to get any more additional advantage there. As the majority of the 79th push appears to be coming in from that western side. So a lot of people now for 79th look like they're kind of closing in, trying to turtle in a little bit here. We did see that cap progress come in momentarily here on Boy. Still got a couple bad guys there. Sorry, a couple blueberries, not bad guys. But AJ Gray and Emu trying to do what they can to continue to put a little bit of pressure on here. Try to keep the 27th honest as they try to push towards West Bend. But if they're able to knock out AJ Gray, they will have a difficult time. 79th will have a difficult time trying to get back here into 17 minutes. Try to continue putting progress on Foy here. Now the arty rate of fire has been nerfed a little bit, as arty players can no longer swap guns, or can no longer swap positions in the middle of the reload animation. So they have to finish the reload and then they can swap over. So then they have to reload, which takes, 3 seconds or so. And then it takes another 5 seconds to flip their position. And so it's going to slow down greatly on the amount of shells that they can put down range. AJ Gray and Clash still are able to stay alive up here on the western, or up in Foy in the hard cap. Royal trying his hand to be the next person up here. Switch on our X-ray vision here. See AJ Gray and Clash trying to hold that northern side. Clash, though, able to get a hold of him. That progress now coming back in favor of 79th here on Foy. One bombing run airhead combo coming in here for the 27th. Let's take a look and see if they're able to go ahead and get that. So let's see, where is said airhead? Or maybe it was an airhead combo. Maybe I was getting confused here by the OPs that were there. So that looks to be an allied bombing run coming in. Able to take out people, but unfortunately for 79, won't be able to take out any of the garrisons, or no garrisons, no OPs, as there is not a garrison over there. Very well could have taken out the garrison. 15 minutes remaining though. 76 able to get some good angles here, taking out some type of arty or armor here for the Axis forces. Appears to be a Panzer IV. Go ahead and take a look. Just I want to get an update here on the situation with this Tiger tank back here. This Tiger tank, oh Tiger of the building, what is your wisdom as you continue to sit back here and unfortunately occupy a heavy spot that will not be able to get out? It really could cause some problems here for 27th here in the last little bit, as they will need to wait for 10 minutes for that thing to just be able to despawn itself. Garrison going back up here for the 27th, being peppered here by Geezer and his squad off of this tank here on the eastern side. These are just trying to maintain, holding that advantage, trying to build up that armor here for the 79th. "13 minutes remaining here. 79th still sitting on top of West Bend, looking to get that first win here in week 1 against the 27th. Appears a rep station for our 76 here on the southern side has been taken out. So some good rocket plays coming on in. Sounds like we have a bombing run though coming in for the 27th. Looks like it's gonna take out a good number of guys here. Let's take a see in how many blueberries go down. So we got 1 blueberry that went away there, 2 blueberries, and with that, garrison as well is going to be removed. And just like that, we see all the blueberries start to rush, or all the little red cherries try to rush down here into the point. As cap progress starts to come back in on Foy, AJ Gray and his crew still doing damage up here. 1 full 6-man squad up here. All right, cap progress nearing 3/4 of the way capped here for the Allies. Cap progress, though, from the 27th, able to go ahead and respawn all the way back here and here now as we're looking to defend here for 79th, or for the 27th against the onrush of the 79th here. All right, so cap progress all the way back in for the 79th here. Seems to be completely balanced out here. More supplies landing on West Bend here for the 79th. And my apologies to all parties involved, as this stream has not gone as well as we would have hoped, unfortunately. All right, so 27th going to have about 4 more minutes here to try to get some type of pressure here on West Bend. OP up on the backside with O. All right, so 79th appears to be able to go ahead and secure their ground here very well. Pushing off all the push here from the 27th, but lo and behold, from the backside comes the giant red blob of the 27th, looking to sweep on up into point. Will they be able to get this backside garrison? Oh boy, this is mounting for a very exciting last couple of minutes here. No, they have not gotten this backside garrison. I fear for the one person that's going to be spawning in on that, as it appears that 27th is now all in on the backside. Looks like their garrison might not survive this bombing run, as it tends to go a little bit past the line there of where it says it's going to end. But cap progress starting to come in here for the 27th. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we've got some excitement here as it continues to tick away. All bodies now shifting back into the point here for the 79th. Big key will be if this 79th bombing run is able to take out this garrison here on the backside. There it is right there. It does not. It does not take out the garrison. So the 79th still with danger in its back line. It is locked out, however. Big L looking to get behind, is on top of the garrison, takes it out. So 79th now has only their OPs. And with that, hopefully a bombing run might be in effect, as no garrisons are currently up for the 27th or the 79th on this point. Everybody's fighting off of OPs here. With the help of 276s, though, here in the area, or 176 and 1 medium Sherman. 1 minute left here for the 27th to start action. Rocket missing from Jazza. Better rocket from Jazza, but still landing just a little bit short. As this island of blueberries here, or as this island of red cherries slowly is getting eaten away here. 27th just trying to fight for their lives here, get as many people spawned in as OP as they can. Bombing run coming in, though. We do have an airhead coming in as well. It'll be just a little too late unless they can get some cap progress onto here. Lining up to get at least 3 kills here on this bombing run. No kamikaze gets missed from that. No other issues present. Will it take out this medium? No, it stops before the medium. So unfortunately, that bombing run not going to be too successful, aside from taking out a garrison that will be put right back up by Kamikaze and Whiskey. Kanye West and Executioner, though, trying to hurry back up into the area here. As now we are past the 2-minute mark. 27th will unfortunately not be able to take this point before it is over. But man, we got a good little rush here on the backside. PF Armor, though, getting a good angle on this 76. But man, aside from all the technical difficulties, and I apologize again to everybody that we are facing today, Not only were we facing the snowy fields of Foy here, but technology issues as well. So my apologies here on this initial cast here for Winter War League. Promise the rest of them will get better as we work to figure out issues with our streaming setups here. Doesn't help that YouTube also did an update that caused some issues with stream keys as well. Just like that, 79th is going to survive this first round matchup here with the 27th. Very well played on both teams, keeping things very exciting for both sides. As with that, we will go zoom in here for the 27th. And notice that our Tiger tank of the building is gone. So with that, 79th able to take their initial victory here on the snowy battlefield of Foy. So I'm going to jump right into this, though, and try to get this loaded back in here. Go ahead and give that commendation here to Commander Pepe, Dr. Pepe, PhD.